Marauders, welcome back to the channel. I have this willow tree and a section of it, this is what happens. I always say they're like blooming onions, section split off. So I have this willow tree that's leaned across a creek, broken at the base. It's leaned across a creek and is leaning, I think, on my neighbor's tree. I've talked about this winter. And what I'm going to try to do is, first I'm going to chain it in case I have to grab it by a chain with my excavator. And then I'm going to cut it, attempt to cut it so that I can hopefully break it away from the trunk and pull it across the creek. And I'd say, oh my God, it's big. 20. I'd say 20, 40. It might be 60 feet. These willow trees, look at this thing above me. These willow trees are just massive. So first I'm going to chain it, then I'm going to cut it, then I'm going to bring the excavator over. See, I have my chains here, and I'm going to try to pull it across the creek. Okay, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, it's chained. Not sure. And there's more prickers here, sure. I'm going to try to come in now with the excavator. I'm going to leave my chainsaw here. I'm going to try to come in with the excavator and see if I can grab it with a bucket and break it loose and see how that goes. I don't know that the cut could have went any better. I was worried about it trapping my saw, my bar and my chainsaw didn't immediately started to fall away. So I have it chained. You can see it's probably 3 feet from the lip of the creek. I don't want it to fall in. So now I'm going to try to pull it. And again, I don't necessarily want to lift it. I just want to pull it across the creek off my neighbor's property. So we'll see if this excavator, it's really supposed to be an 8.5 ton excavator. This weighs, I think, a little over 10,000 pounds, 5 tons. So we'll see if I can pull it without damaging the machine or breaking a chain. We'll see if I can pull it across the creek. Okay. That's my girl. That's my girl. Get a distance away with the boom, drop the front blade, pull it with the excavator, and repeat that over and over again, probably 5 or 6 times to get the tree on land. I should be able to reach over with the excavator and grab that debris, and it did not knock down that tree. I'm just thrilled. A lot of, there's a lot of money sitting there, and my wife, why do you have this machine? It's expensive, so is a track loader. And by the way, tractors are expensive too, those of you that have tractors. That machine, that excavator, a guy like Joe Capper knows on his channel, and of course excavating contractors know, it is more than paid for itself on my piece of property. I cannot emphasize that enough. It has more than paid for itself. It did today, pulling that limb across. I was not looking forward to this job at all, and it just did an awesome job. So I'm excited, right, guys? I've had so many people are worse off than I am physically, but I've had a tough 2 years, diabetes, and then with my knee, and I'm bone on bone. And the doctor wants me to wait 2 years on my knee. And then that giant willow tree as big as my house came down. To clean that up in September. I think I tried to tackle that September, October last year. So this is a big win for the excavator and myself. All right, I'm gonna unchain the excavator and then bring it alongside this one. I dice it up, break out the big saw, and we're gonna cut this into pieces. Not sure which end I'm gonna start at. Okay, we're gonna chunk this baby up. So I have the excavator supporting it, so I shouldn't bind my blade. And I'm gonna cut it in manageable chunks. Much nicer, huh? Plus you can see, even though that tree was high, the dangling limbs were still creating a dam and catching debris. A bucket was caught, so I try to be as careful as I can not to scrape the bottom of the creek. You have to clean out the muck and twigs that dam up the creek. The tree, I want to say the base of it, parts of it were over 3 feet in diameter. My 3-foot bar, you can see where I missed. So from here to there was over 3 feet. My bar couldn't catch that piece. Didn't even see it until just now. But damp, a very wet tree. They're so wet. I don't think there's any use for the wood from a willow. Look at this garbage here. Husqvarna. So many channels use still, and I did not have good experience with still chainsaws. They were temperamental, and I used them heavily for the last 35 years. I've used still saws. I find the Husqvarnas very reliable, pretty much maintenance free, and they've run consistent. I really like the Husqvarna. Now I don't use the 390 a lot, you know, just for these big willow trees, but man, when I do, it's running better and better. Of course, the camera caddy and my chainsaw caddy, Polaris Ranger XP. I don't know what I'm going to do when I don't have this machine, but this is coming soon where I'm not going to have the XP anymore. Stay tuned for that. But Polaris Ranger XP, all Rangers, by the way, and Defender and Honda Pioneers, they had a cab. But the Ranger, I have just found this vehicle to be exceptional. It has performed extremely well. No issues whatsoever with it. One, sometimes the radio doesn't work. I restart it, reset the ignition, and then it works. The debris, so that was a 60-foot tree. You can see the mess. Not caused by this tree. These willows self-explode when they get older, just rot. See the mess on my neighbor's yard? We'll see if I can help them if I'm up to it. Got stacks of this debris to take to the road with the track loader. Of course, the excavator just performed amazingly. I did not think, I was worried that machine wasn't big enough. And sometimes I regret not getting the next size smaller, an E35. And man, every time I think I do a job that I don't think this is gonna handle, and it pulls it off. And man, this girl did all right today. She shined. E42 R2 with a long boom. Just never ceases to amaze me. Never ceases to amaze me what this machine could do. No way any could do that with anything else but that, unless maybe a crane. And then you saw how it helped me cut it up. Marauders, please consider liking this video, sharing it with a friend, and subscribing to my channel. I wish all of you good health. And you know, I've been putting this job off for one excuse or the other, and today I said I gotta do it this weekend. Didn't like it leaning across the street, and I did it. So thanks for joining me on this project, and all of you take care and be safe. Thank you. I hope to see you on the trail. That was where the devil's tail, that tree was almost 80 feet tall, that fell, broke in two, and ended up in the center of the creek vertical during the blizzard. That was a job. The video's out on that. So we're cleaned up.